Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kisha. I blog over at kjaggers.com. That link is in the description box, as well as links to all of my social media. Be sure to follow along on Facebook and Instagram, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to get subscribed. So today I am back with my 6-week postpartum update, as well as sharing my postpartum must-haves. So AJ is almost 8 weeks old, so I'm about 2 months postpartum, and I didn't do like a 1 month postpartum update. I just figured I'd do the 6 weeks, share the postpartum essentials, and just kind of let you guys know how everything is going. So first off, I've been feeling pretty good. The first couple of weeks wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. You know, I definitely was emotional. I definitely wasn't sleeping that well, as nobody with a newborn in the house is. I wasn't eating well at first. I wasn't really staying hydrated the way I should have. I wasn't breastfeeding, and I shared why and my thoughts on it in a question and answer, and I'll try to remember to link that in for you guys in case you want to know why. But I had massive breast swelling, which was pretty painful, and it was also itchy. It was just red and itchy, and just my skin was so irritated from how much I swelled up from being engorged. It took about 2 weeks for the milk to go away and for my breast to go back to normal. So, you know, I just remember praying to God that I really needed His help with the pain, because it was just unbearable at times. When we first brought the baby home, we decided that we didn't want a lot of guests, at least not for the first week. We wanted to keep things really quiet, really peaceful. We wanted time to bond as a family, and it was really helpful, and I actually recommend that to you or anybody who is coming home with a new baby. Just take a little time. There's no need to rush everybody in. The baby's there to stay, and they're going to have plenty of chances to get to know them and spend time with them. But I really believe the first couple weeks that you come home with your new baby, it should be about bonding as a family, and it should be about learning your newborn schedule and getting to know your baby, instead of just tons of people coming in handling your baby, especially when your baby has had none of its shots. Its immune system is really weak, and you just have people flooding in. I just couldn't do that. So I made a rule in the beginning that really there would be very few visitors, and we stuck to it. I didn't take a lot of naps, even though I was pretty sleep deprived the first couple weeks. I just kind of got through it. He didn't sleep well at all. So that meant I wasn't sleeping well, and I'm sure that tied into being emotional and being grumpy at times. And I remember looking at the baby and just crying, because he reminded me of somebody I love, and I thought, this is just crazy. And so I had to kind of pull myself up out of that little funk a little bit. But after about 2 weeks, with some stuff that I was taking, along with, getting more fluids in me and building up a little more sleep, I was able to feel better. So in regard to my body, I fit pretty quickly right back into my pre-pregnancy clothes. But again, I've always been a kind of baggy girl. And then if you're, wearing sweats or leggings, obviously any of us can probably fit in those, pretty quickly after pregnancy, because they are expandable. But my pre-pregnancy jeans actually fit. I did not wear them very often because I had a scar from having my tubal, and I had some stitches right at my belly button. So it wasn't like a C-section, but it definitely hurt, and it was uncomfortable, and it was itchy. But I have had no body image issues. The last thing I am doing is worrying about my weight. You know, I'm just very thankful that my body was able to carry AJ as long as I did. And I'm just very thankful my laboring was not bad at all. I'm just, you know, I'm just very thankful for my body giving me such a beautiful baby that's healthy and happy. And I have not been on a scale, but I do plan on, you know, doing a little more yoga, working out a little bit at the YMCA. I did share that in my goals and resolutions. I can link that one in as well, in case you haven't seen it yet. But I felt like my bleeding only lasted about 2 to 3 weeks. Really 1 week of heavy bleeding, 1 week of lighter bleeding, and 1 week of spotting. So I couldn't have asked for anything better than that, because I know some women bleed a very long time, and I just didn't experience that, at least with this pregnancy. And, you know, we had such a difficult pregnancy. I just didn't know how I would heal or recover after the baby, being the issues we had during the pregnancy. So I'm just, you know, I was just really thankful that it wasn't worse. Like I said, the incision from the tubal has completely healed. There's a scar probably about that long right under my belly button, and it doesn't bother me at all at this point. I haven't been working. I've been lucky to be able to be home with my baby. And when I do go back to work, if it's this year, I will probably go back to work serving in a restaurant in the evenings, just so we don't have to put AJ in daycare. I'm really not wanting to do that. It's expensive. And I'm definitely starting to feel better about being home with him all day and not being so stressed out about not working. Everything seems to be working out great, and we seem to have a pretty good understanding in our home of the different roles, from my role to Ryan's role to the kids' older teenagers' roles. And you know, we're all active participants, and it's working out. I do plan on going back to work eventually, and again, I spoke about that, I think, more in the New Year's resolutions, so definitely check that out. I did manage to take care of the house postpartum. In the beginning, you know, everybody helped out, but, you know, I felt pretty good, so I was able to keep up with what I said my main role is, which is the house and the kids and the animals. Ryan's obviously is work and financial responsibilities, and the teenagers are school and helping out in the house when needed. And like I said, we all have our own roles, and I was able actually to step back in to the homekeeping role and to being a stay-at-home mom, which, you know, I already was because I had to be on bed rest for a while. But I wasn't able to do hardly anything. But I was just able to kind of gradually work my way back into that. And before my pregnancy, I had gotten the house ready, and I had gotten some meals prepped and cooked and froze, so I didn't get stressed out a lot during the first 6 weeks. There's just no sense in it. If you have time to plan and you have time to get things ready, I highly recommend you do, because it just makes life so much easier when you come home from the hospital. Okay, so in regards to the baby, we had no real problem bonding with him. He is such a sweet little bundle of joy, and we just can't stop kissing him. But he had no real schedule. So I had no real schedule the past 6 weeks. And most of my time has been feeding him, holding him, bathing him. But we are starting to work on a schedule, and I'll definitely share that with you once we get it developed and implemented. A lot of my time when I was feeding him or holding him was watching Netflix and YouTube, which I think is an amazing part of postpartum. You can catch up on your shows, because there's not a whole lot you can do when you're holding a baby or feeding a baby. And AJ took almost an hour to eat. He is eating a little bit faster, but you know, there was a lot of a downtime, and so playing on my phone helped because I had a hand free sometimes. But YouTube and Netflix and Amazon Prime, amazing for postpartum. I've been sharing most of my moments with AJ on Instagram, so I hope you follow. Definitely follow. In regards to Ryan, he's been very great with caring for the baby and changing his diaper and helping with bath time. It's been great with all of that. But again, you know, we all have different roles. So I'm the one usually getting up in the night because he's got to go to work. But he's been great with the baby. We have stopped going out so much, and I really want to implement like date night once a week or once every 2 weeks, and then family night where we take out the teenagers or take out the baby if the teenagers don't want to come, and we just go out to dinner and find something to do. Even though AJ's young, he definitely can go along with us anywhere we go. So that is it. My update essentially is everything went well, and you know, I feel blessed that we have a new baby and that we got through it all, and here we are 2 months in, happier than ever, especially with the kids. It's just been a blessing all the way around, from the teenagers to AJ. Just been amazing. So, and now I'm going to jump into my postpartum essentials. I know there's lots of videos out there with, you know, different people sharing what worked the best for them, but I'm going to share what worked the best for me, and things that I think you should have. Okay, so the items I'm going to be sharing today are just for mom. They're the items that was most essential to me coming home with a newborn and having to take care of myself and wanting to feel my best and get through it. These are the items that worked for me the best. So let's talk about bringing stuff home from the hospital. Now, my hospital supplied me with so much stuff, and I had more than enough. I still have extras of almost every single thing. The first thing, though, that I want to talk about is the Peri bottle. Now, this is so amazing, you guys. I didn't tear in delivery, but I was definitely swelled up. And all you do is fill this up with warm water. They give this to you right after delivery. And when you go to the bathroom, you squirt it on yourself while you're going. It keeps you from burning. It just feels so much better. It cleans off any blood you might have on you. This was essential. And, you know, you start using it from the first time you use the bathroom after delivery all the way up for a couple weeks after you get home. So this was imperative, and the hospital gave that to me. And you can obviously take it with you. If you're going somewhere, you can take it with you and fill it up with warm water wherever you go. Now, another thing that the hospital actually gave me that was very, very useful were these, I call them puppy pads. Here they are. It's just a big pad, and what I found is putting this on the bed protected my sheets. It just did. There was blood on it for every single day for the first, at least for the first week. Every single time I got up, I had blood on this. So it protected my sheets and was really helpful. Another thing you can use these for is changing pads just in a hurry. But the hospital sends you home with these, and or they should, and they just work so well. And they're not just for the hospital. You know, you definitely bring them home and put them down on your bed, because, you know, breakouts happen with bleeding, and sometimes after a baby you start bleeding really heavily, even after, you know, not bleeding heavily for a period of time. And they're, you know, they're just helpful. They keep your sheets from being destroyed. Now, another thing that I want to talk to you guys about, which is a brand new pair, I've never wore these, are the mesh panties from the hospital. Oh my gosh. After you have a baby, you know, putting on some sexy thongs just is not it. You need big panties. I'm going to talk more about those in just a second. But for the first week, these were so important to me. I came home with like 5 pairs. These are just like mesh. See? They expand, And what they allow is for this big pad, and I know it looks ridiculous, but this is it, this big pad to fit inside of these. And it is really helpful the first few days after labor, especially when you're in the hospital. But if you're bleeding a lot when you come home, definitely bring some of these big pads home, and definitely ask for extra mesh panties to come home with you, because these were a lifesaver. They are so comfortable. They just expand with your body, and just amazing. So I highly recommend you talking to your nurses before you leave if you don't have extras of those things. Now, when you're using the bathroom and you're using your peri bottle, another thing that I liked having on hand was the Cottonelle wipes, or just some regular wipes. These were the Pampers. We had so many different packs of wipes when we brought the baby home, that I just grabbed one of these, and it felt so much better wiping, and with something with some moisture to it instead of dry toilet paper. Keep that in mind. Either have some wipes, have some minimum hygiene wipes, or some baby wipes, or the Cottonelle bathroom wipes, because they do make it much more comfortable when you go to the bathroom. So that was big for me. Another thing you're going to need is pads in all sizes. Now, this is the size the hospital gave me, and I came home with quite a few of these, and then I had bought a big bag of this size, and then I finished up with this size. So you're going to need pads in all sizes. You just are. And, I prefer the ones with the wings, so they go under, and there's no way anything's going on your panties, but accidents happen. And I recommend having lots of black panties. And now I got, these are larger panties. As you can see, they are a little bit larger, but you need them after you have a baby. Thongs are just not comfortable, and you need your pads to fit inside your panties. So I like black because you don't really see the staining that happens after you have a baby. Blood does get on your panties. Regardless of how hard you try for it not to, it does. So I like black panties. And another thing that I highly recommend is a tight-fitting bra, especially if you're not breastfeeding. So I have this one. This one looks like it's underwire, but it's not. And it's really, really soft right here. But a tight-fitting bra, a sports bra is great. I wore one of those a lot. But any type of tight-fitting bra. Now, of course, if you are breastfeeding, you're going to need some breastfeeding tank tops and nursing bras. Definitely get yourself some of those, because they're just going to make your life easier. But I still recommend the black panties. They just hold up better. You don't have to throw them away. You're not going to see the staining. And, they are comfortable. So, especially if they're like the full size. Other clothing I think you should have is your robe. Now, I shared this in my hospital bag. This is my robe. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. But this was essential the first couple days I came home. And even though I wasn't nursing AJ, I didn't want to get dressed right away, right after coming home from delivery. So I lived in this for a while. After the first couple weeks, I was in my regular pajama pants. So I recommend having some cute, I have a bunch of different pairs of pajama pants that you can just be comfortable in. Nothing tight around the waist, especially if you have a C-section or your tubes tied like I did. Just soft, comfy pants. They have made all the difference to me. Now, another thing that was important to me were breast pads. I was highly engorged, as I said, and my breast would leak. So I used a combination between the kind that can go in the washer that are reusable and the latch nursing pads, which are right here. They worked wonderful. They did a great job. I think these were more absorbent in a weird kind of way, but I still stuck to these quite a bit too, because I liked the way they felt against my skin opposed to these. So, no matter if you're breastfeeding or not, your breast most likely will fill up with milk, and you will need some breast pads because you will leak. Now, moving on. So, for me, I felt like I was dehydrated really, really badly when I came home. And I felt like my skin was super dry, probably from, you know, the hospital stay. So I think whatever lotion you were using pre-delivery is something you can continue to use. So I continue to use the Burt's Bees Mama Bee belly butter, and it does help, you know, with stretch marks, and so it lightens them. It keeps you from getting, you know, so tight. This still helps after your pregnancy, so be sure to use it up. And if you need some, you know, heavy-duty lotion, go out and buy it because your body will thank you for it. My lips were also really chapped, so I went for something like Carmex, just to keep around, to keep my lips moisturized. EOS lip balm was great too. So, yeah, those were essential items. Now, as I said, my skin felt like it was dry. Another couple things that I recommend is a good moisturizer. Now, this one is the Utterly Smooth Body Cream. I've ranted about this for so long. It's a great everyday moisturizer for your face, your body, your hands. So I use this a lot, but I also think that you should use, you know, good face products, because for me, my skin was so dry, I felt like I looked awful, and I only had small amounts of time to do stuff. So one of the things I did was continue to use masks. They felt amazing on my face, and it was just a way to de-stress as well. This is the Biocellulose facial treatment mask. It's a brightening and moisture infusion system, and I've used quite a few of these, and they work great. I definitely think we should take care of our skin all the time, but when you come home from with a baby, I don't think your skin routine is, you know, top priority. But I do think you should use a good moisturizer and a good serum, because it's amazing. You will see how the hormones have really affected your body after a baby. Your skin will do weird things, your emotions will go off the charts, and I think it's important to take care of both inside and outside. So I've been using my Paige Ashbury Perfecting Serum and the facial moisturizer and the soap, and I love them. So in terms of medications and things like this that you're going to need, I find that you're going to need some Tylenol or Advil, just to keep on hand. Now, my doctor prescribed 2 different medications. She prescribed some pain pills, some opiates, 2 weeks worth, taking them 3 times a day, and then some prescription strength ibuprofen. So it really worked out well, because by the time I kind of rotated between them, basically. By the time I was finished up with the narcotics, the ibuprofen is what got me through the final weeks. And I just felt like I had plenty of medication coming home from the doctor. I didn't need any additional medication, except on occasion some Tylenol because of that incision where I had my tubes tied. But besides that, I didn't need any medication at all. I recommend stocking up on some Tylenol, talking to your doctor about what your pain level is, so you get the right medication to come home with, because it's so essential that you take care of yourself so you can take care of your baby. And if you're in pain, you're not going to do a very good job at it. So again, talk to your doctor, because an essential for my recovery was the pain medication and the ibuprofen, and then the over-the-counter medication, just for those days when I was feeling a little discomfort. And as well as, like I said, taking care of the inside. So what that means is, another essential is your prenatal vitamins. These are just the 1-a-day prenatal gummies. And as I said, your emotions do tend to go off track, to get off kilter. And it's important to really notice them. So if they last very long, you definitely need to be talking to your OBGYN. Even the pediatrician in our town is very into prenatal, is very into the depression after the baby. Postpartum is real, and it affects so many women. First couple weeks, well, the first couple of days, I started feeling quite emotional, crying a lot, just emotional. And so right away, I went on the St. John's wort, which I have talked about many, many times. And it did help me. I'm not on this anymore, but for the first 30 days, and I'm not breastfeeding. So if you're breastfeeding, you probably don't want to do this without consulting your doctor. But for me, this made a world of difference. So definitely talk to your doctor and find out what would work best for you. Sometimes just getting some fresh air, sunshine, and getting some sleep can do wonders. So postnatal, definitely have a support system that is strong. Women, friends, doctors, nurses, teachers, you know, are all wonderful people to have in your support system. I find that is crucial to life after having a baby. Another thing, which I have mine right here, I think you should have is a notebook for a couple of different reasons. You're going to think of so many questions and so many things you want to look up when you have the time. So having a place where you can keep notes like that at is important, and it being small enough you can lug it room to room with you. Because you know, I had a baby 15 years ago, and things have changed, and there's so much new stuff, and there's so many new questions, and I just think the time has really done well for pregnancy, because there's so much more out there now in terms of information and in terms of products. So having a little handy notebook is great. Another thing, if you are having like some emotional moments, it is nice to be able to journal. So maybe have another notebook just for journaling your feelings and getting them out instead of keeping them in and letting them bother you and affect your everyday life. And I think another notebook would be absolutely amazing. Another postpartum essential for me was a camera. A video camera, my camera on my iPhone. You know, you're wanting to take pictures of that baby, and you're going to want to cherish a lot of moments. Make sure you have your camera ready, you know, before you actually have the baby, but after you have the baby as well. And so make sure you've got plenty of storage on iCloud, and you know, just get things ready, because you are going to be wanting to take a lot of pictures. You are going to be really tired. That's my cat. You are going to be dehydrated. And speaking of dehydration, another thing that I do really recommend is a good tumbler or water bottle. I started drinking more and more fluids after I gave birth. I just, like I said, felt so dehydrated. Now, if you're breastfeeding, you are going to definitely have to stay hydrated. Either which way, a good water bottle, a good tumbler is great to have, so you can sit it on your nightstand and, you know, keep yourself hydrated. The last thing that I lost the bottle on that I want to recommend is I think it's the Earth Mama's Bottom Spray. It was so soothing and relieving, and you know, you just spray it on you down there whenever you are feeling discomfort or when you use the bathroom. And speaking of using the bathroom, I did not need them because I feel like I eat a pretty high fiber diet, but is your stool softeners. Definitely use those. The first time you have a bowel movement after having a baby, it's pretty painful, and it's going to remain painful unless you are getting lots of fiber, staying hydrated, and or using stool softeners. You can get them right over the counter. Your doctor may prescribe them for you, but definitely make sure you have some of those on hand so you don't experience pain in that area as well. So that is it, you guys. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed the 6-week update. Everything is great. Again, I haven't been on a scale. I'm not interested in getting on a scale. I did not go to my 6-week update yet, or doctor visit yet. I guess I will. I called them and told them I needed to reschedule, but I've never made it back in. But it still is important to maintain, you know, care. So definitely keep up with your appointments, and let me know if there's anything that you really felt was an essential after you brought your baby home for yourself. Leave those in the comments. I'm sure others will find that information useful. And I will see you with AJ's 2-month update next. So that's coming up over the weekend. I have a food haul coming up over the weekend. And I have a vlog coming up next Monday. And yeah, I don't know what else. I do want to get that video recorded for the things that I really did use out of my hospital bag, opposed to the things I did not. So maybe that video will be up soon. I have some organizing videos I plan on sharing with you, schedule videos. Yeah, happy to be sharing again, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to get subscribed. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, and let me know how you're doing in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.